Long ago, in the kingdom of Phthia in ancient Greece, there was born a child destined to become the greatest warrior the world would ever know. His name was Achilles. Achilles was the son of the mortal king Peleus and the sea goddess Thetis. From the moment he was born, Thetis knew that her son was fated for greatness, but also for a short life. She wanted to protect him from death. According to legend, Thetis carried the infant Achilles to the dark waters of the River Styx, a magical river said to grant invincibility. Holding him tightly by his heel, she dipped his body into the water. The river made his entire body invulnerable, except for the heel by which she held him. That tiny spot remained mortal, and thus was born the famous phrase Achilles' heel, meaning a small weakness that can lead to downfall. As Achilles grew, he showed incredible strength, speed, and skill in battle. He was trained by the wise centaur Chiron, who taught him combat, medicine, music, and strategy. Chiron soon realized that Achilles was not just talented, he was extraordinary. No warrior could match his speed with a spear. No soldier could match his courage in battle. Yet prophecy followed him everywhere. A terrible prediction spread among the kings of Greece. Achilles could live a long, peaceful life, or he could go to the Trojan War, win eternal glory, and die young. Achilles chose glory. The war began when the Trojan prince Paris abducted the beautiful Helen, wife of the Spartan king Menelaus. The Greek kings united to bring Helen back and punish the city of Troy. Their armies were led by the powerful king Agamemnon. But everyone knew one truth: without Achilles, they could never win. Achilles joined the Greek army with his loyal warriors, the Myrmidons, and his closest friend, Patroclus. In battle, Achilles was unstoppable. His armor shone like fire. His spear struck faster than lightning. His enemies trembled when they saw him enter the battlefield. The Trojans feared him more than any other warrior. Yet the greatest hero of Troy was Hector, the noble prince and protector of his city. Hector and Achilles were destined to meet. But before that final battle could happen, pride and anger changed the course of the war. A bitter conflict arose between Achilles and King Agamemnon. Agamemnon insulted Achilles and took away a captive woman named Briseis, whom Achilles cared for. Furious at the humiliation, Achilles refused to fight. Without him, the Greek army began to lose. The Trojans pushed the Greeks back toward their ships. Still, Achilles refused to return to battle. Seeing the Greeks in danger, Patroclus begged Achilles for permission to wear his armor and lead the Myrmidons into battle. Achilles agreed but warned him, "Drive the Trojans away, but do not chase them to the walls of Troy." Patroclus fought bravely and drove the Trojans back, but he ignored the warning. Near the gates of Troy, he faced Hector. In a fierce duel, Hector killed Patroclus. When Achilles learned of his friend's death, grief turned into terrible rage. He cried out to his mother Thetis, who asked the god Hephaestus to forge new armor for him. The armor was magnificent, the shield blazing with images of the entire world. Achilles returned to the battlefield like a storm. Trojans fled before him. Finally, outside the walls of Troy, he faced Hector. Hector stood alone before the city gates. He knew he might die, but he refused to hide. The two warriors fought in a legendary duel. Achilles was faster. His spear struck true. Hector fell. In his fury, Achilles dishonored Hector's body, dragging it behind his chariot. But later, Hector's father, the old king Priam, came secretly to Achilles' tent and begged for his son's body. Seeing the grief of the father, Achilles' anger softened. He returned Hector's body with honor. Achilles continued fighting in the war, defeating many Trojan warriors. But destiny cannot be escaped. During a battle near the walls of Troy, the prince, Paris, shot an arrow. The arrow was guided by the god Apollo. It struck Achilles in the one place where he could be wounded, his heel. The greatest warrior of Greece fell. Though Achilles died young, his name lived forever. Poets sang of his courage. Warriors spoke of his strength. And the story of his life became immortal in the epic poem, the Iliad, by the ancient Greek poet Homer. Achilles had chosen a short life filled with glory rather than a long life in obscurity. And because of that choice, the legend of Achilles would never fade.